All right. We ready to start?
Hey, folks. Hey, welcome to the Rambler Radio Show. Just want to let you guys know there's no cover charge here, so there is a tick bucket up front. So if you guys are feeling generous, we wouldn't be averse to $1 or $2 in there. I don't think, would we? I think it'd be pretty good. Well, hey, I'm maybe 10. There you go. Hey, I'm Judd Block. I'm gonna be emceeing this thing tonight, and we got our first artist up here, Mr. T. Roy.
How y'all doing? I'm from Beaumont, Texas. I actually lived most of my life up here in Dallas. And my mama really hated this song. Yeah, well, I've been causing trouble since the day that I was born. My mama told the doctor, I can't pay you, so it's yours. Ain't that a shame? Guess I'm just bad news. If you hanging out with me, you'll be messing with a whole lot of blues. So my daddy got jealous, couldn't get my mama alone. He didn't want me either, so he ran away from home. Ain't that a shame? Yes, I'm just bad news. If you hanging out with me, you'll be messing with a whole lot of blues. Yeah, you're messing with a whole lot, messing with a whole lot of blues, messing with a whole lot of blues. Yeah, you're turning around with me, you've been messing with a whole lot of blues. Yeah, well, I don't want to hurt nobody, so I try to keep it to myself. I wouldn't wish this kind of misery on you or anyone else. So my mama told me, son, go out and find a place to play. But when they saw me coming, all the children ran away. Ain't that a shame? Guess I'm just bad news. If you hanging out with me, you've been messing with a whole lot of blues. Trouble, don't you know it's nothing new? But I don't have to take it, gonna get my walking shoes, and I'm gonna walk on out of here. Hey, that's the truth. If you're running around with me, you are messing with a whole lot of blues. Oh, you're messing with a whole lot of messing. If you run around with me, you are messing with a whole lot of blues. All right, thank you. So it's my first time I've ever been here, and I didn't really know, is this kind of a folky song thing, or is it kind of a bluesy thing, or just whatever, right? I hadn't really figured it out yet. This was about the marriage before last. We got a lot of water under the bridge, and we let them go on by. I already got to start over again. We got a lot of water under the bridge, and you don't want to carry on. After all this time of living with me, you're thinking that you'd like to be gone. There's no point in hurting each other if you want to walk away. I still love you, baby, but I won't stand in your way. hurting each other. We're hurting each other. We're hurting each other now. Hurting each other. You've been hurting me, and I'm hurting you, baby. We're hurting each other now. Hurting each other. Let's stop hurting. We had a lot of water under the bridge, and we let love float on by. After all this time of living with you, well, I guess I was a little surprised. I gave you everything that I could, and I never knew you felt that way. I still love you, baby. I won't beg you to stay. We've been hurting each other. We're hurting each other. Hurting each other now. Hurting each other. You've been hurting me, and I'm hurting you, baby. We're hurting each other. Hurting each other. Let's stop hurting. I'm T-Roy. Thank you.
Hey, y'all, give it up for T-Roy. All right. Next up is a local legend. A man who grew up in the alligator swamps of Florida. Spent some time in the Northeast before he decided he didn't like snow very much. Mostly because the snow didn't work with his black shirt and his black jeans and his black boots and his black hat. So he finally wandered around the United States, and he came to rest right here in Texas. He was part of the punk movement in Dallas back in the day when punk was like fresh and edgy and cool before it got popular and uncool. And now he is here tonight to play you a couple songs. Ladies and gentlemen, bring it up for Judd Block. Come on, bring it up.
Here we go. Okay, that's a hell of an introduction. All right, let's go to south of the border with some death cults and drug cartels. This one's called Santa Elena's Altar. Black metal and blood string the chords of my soul, sounding an angel's whisper to guide where the blade must go. And no acolyte shaking hand can alter what must be, where pain is a sacrament made more divine by degree. The search for innocence to feed the dead, and deities is a burden I have welcomed, well, as a price for piety. lead sacrificing on a painted red by some unknown vinyl heartbeat paid transaction, well, on a debt they've always owed. The screams ring a chorus, well, in praise of what's been done. Each last breath, a lantern illuminating what's to come. Beyond the realm of worry, a new reality, where action without regret writes the lines of prophecy. The silence of the landscape serves to mark the hallowed ground where a desert sand dome temple holds parishioners earthbound. Above the souls of two dead crows cross to form a sacred frame, well, as a dark spell of protection from the laws of the profane. And still they search for reasons, any semblances of why, to fill the blanks within the spaces of a leaden Eucharist reply. Katie Mpembe smiles at what's been done in his name. Katie Mpembe smiles at all the work that I've done to exalt his sacred name. All right, thank y'all. This one's called Between the Lines. Saw the light of burning bridges reflected in your eyes, but you didn't run, in fact you stayed right there by my side. Well, these kind of feelings have never been my forte. Can't seem to find the right words for what I mean to say. Well, ain't afraid of emotion since the pills started to work, but how things play out in my head is rarely how reality looks. So pardon me if I keep things to myself. Just trust I only feel for you and no one else. Well, I know you sometimes wonder if everything's alright, but my love is a poetry that's spoken between the lines. Well, I ain't no saint, I never tried to deny that. Plus you always said you can't trust anyone who only wears a white hat. Yeah, I got plans to improve life for you and me, but the less you know about such things, the better off you'll be. So pardon me if I keep things to myself. Just trust I only feel for you and no one else. Well, I know you sometimes wonder if everything's alright, but my love is the poetry that's spoken between the lines. So by now you've heard, you probably suspected all along that I'd fall in the trap of that Scottish poet and all my plans would go wrong. But don't give up on me, the law can't keep me away. And when I return, I promise you a love the words cannot say. So pardon me if I keep things to myself. Just trust I only feel for you and no one else. Well, I know you sometimes wonder if everything's alright, but my love is a poetry that's spoken between the lines. Between the lines. Between the lines. All right, hey, thank y'all. I'm Judd Block, and I will be right back soon to introduce the next artist. That was Santa Elena.
Everyone, I'd like to welcome Jeff Hobson, one of our co-hosts, to the B-Side interview room tonight. Hey, Jeff, how are you doing?
Hi, Brenda. How are you?
Doing wonderful. So tell us, what got you started in music? And as a songwriter, what drives you or inspires you?
Oh, man, the beginning goes all the way back to when I was 6 years old. And for some reason, our family's from East Tennessee, but for the first 3 or 4 years of my life, I lived in Orlando, Florida. Dad had moved down there for some kind of job, and he took us to a drive-in theater one night back in 1964 to see a film that was made about the life of Hank Williams. It was called Your Cheating Heart, and it starred a very young George Hamilton as Hank. And that night, it was like the clouds opened and the angel chorus sang, and I was like, that's what I'm going to be. And nothing would do me except to have a cowboy hat and a guitar.
That's an easy fix. So, you've already told us Hank Williams is where you got your inspiration.
Exactly.
Describe the music that you write.
My music is, it's along the same lines as a lot of the country greats in subject matter I'm talking about, and stylistically. It really fits into this Texas Americana kind of thing real well. Sometimes it's not straight up hard country, and sometimes it is a little bit, you know. And but the inspiration began with Hank Williams, who is still my biggest hero to this day. And guys like Haggard, you know, I grew up with Mom having country radio on in the kitchen all the time, and so I heard a lot of Haggard, a lot of Buck Owens.
Oh, I grew up with that too.
Yeah.
Your song, If Jesus Were a Texan, I love that song.
Thank you.
Tell us the story behind writing Billy the Kid.
Billy the Kid came about, Robbie White, a good friend of mine and a very, very talented songwriter and singer, artist himself, just called me up one day and said, Hop, you want to go to New Mexico? And I said, yeah. And he wanted to go out there and track down and just absorb the history and the geography of the whole Billy the Kid story. So we did. We went out to Lincoln County, went to the Lincoln County Jail where he made his famous jailbreak, and he became Billy the Kid that day. And we were staying at a ranch that served as a B&B as well on the desert. I mean, it was a working ranch. And we got rooms to sleep out there for the weekend. And we came back from our journeys out into Lincoln County, into Lincoln, and decided, we've got to write a song. So, we've taken in all this history and all this geography. We've got to write a song, and so it came pretty easy. And we went on a drive the next day through, it was Badlands. It was just like nothing. I mean, if you can imagine being out in the middle of the ocean and seeing nothing but water and no land anywhere in sight, well, replace the ocean with just flat desert land with a few scrub brushes here and there and nothing around in sight anywhere. And that's what that was like, and we felt this real strong spirit, in the place. And I was driving at this point, and Robbie was writing down song ideas, lyric ideas over in the passenger seat, and then we'd switch, and I'd be talking about lyrics and giving this, that, and the other, and ideas. And by the time we made it back to the ranch, we had that song completed. And so we sat down on the patio out there at that place and put it to music, gave it lyrics or melody and chords. And
It's a great song.
and we came back with a song about Billy the Kid.
All right. Well, we're ready for the next artist up there. Stay tuned. Jeff will be playing later on tonight, too. Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda.
All righty, back to the stage here. I want to introduce Land Law. These guys are on tour coming through here. They did the Flowapalooza Festival down in Grand Prairie, and so we're happy to have these guys come in. Being as they're out of town here, and there's a special guest from Arkansas, we're going to have them do a few songs for you. So introduce Land Law. These guys go by Land Law. Give them a big hand. Thanks.
How y'all doing?
How we doing, Texas? Y'all doing all right? My name is Lance Curtis,
I'm Lawson Wing.
and we are Land Law. It's good to be here tonight. Thank y'all so much for allowing us to come up, play a few songs for y'all. This first one here is one we wrote a couple years ago. We were playing a show, and there wasn't very many country girls out there, and so we had an idea to write this song here. This one's called Where the Country Girls Go. Well, I broke out a few years back, left town in a smokestack. That rusty Chevy held the road, yeah. Heading off to the city, all the girls there are pretty. At least that's what I was told. I'll take that small town red light, homemade moonshine, two-stepping under neon signs, overhead games and high heels, little dogs and high-priced meals. Oh, oh, take me home where the country girls grow. Oh, they look twice at my overalls. I catch a loose, I know 'em all. Man, how they love that southern drawl, y'all. But there's something missing, too much ambition. Sometimes gotta be about McGraw. I'll take that small town red light, homemade moonshine, two-stepping under neon signs, overhead games and high heels, little dogs and high-priced meals. Oh, oh, take me home where the country girls grow. Oh, where they grow. Oh, yeah, you know. Covington, Kentucky, Jackson, Mississippi, and all those towns in between, yeah. Yellow dresses dancing, steel guitar makes a full band. If you ever been there, yeah, you know just what I mean. I'll take that small town red light, homemade moonshine, two-stepping under neon signs, overhead games and high heels, little dogs and high-priced meals. Oh, take me home. I said, oh Lord, take me home where the country girls grow. Oh yeah, you know. Here we go now. Take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Why don't you please take me home? Yeah. Take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Why don't you please take me home? Take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Why don't you please take me home? One more time, let's take it home now. Take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Why don't you please take me home where the country girls grow?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. This one right here is one that Lawson and I wrote. Some good friends of ours, Ashtonbrook Gill and Ava Page. We were watching a TV show, and the show was all about cowboys, and we got to thinking, man, we don't have any cowboy songs, so we want to write one here. This one's one of our favorites. This one's called Cowboy Up.
Oh, that western dust is in your blood, and settling down just ain't enough. Chasing the sun till your boots rub raw.
You may have been born a tumbleweed, but boy, take it from me, there's more to life than just buckles and brawn. You better watch the way you walk and watch the way you talk. You got little eyes learning your every move, everything you say and everything you do. Show 'em how to be a man. Got his whole life in your hands. Hey cowboy, better cowboy up to raise your little cowboy up.
Teach 'em how to break a sweat that life ain't fair. Lord's prayer, respect the man upstairs. Yes sir, yes ma'am, look you in the eye.
Better treat his mom the way she deserves. Playing Bruce down deep on a piece of dirt. What the flag stands for, who paid the price? You better watch the way you walk and watch the way you talk. Got little eyes learning your every move, everything you say and everything you do. Show 'em how to be a man. Got his whole life in your hands. Hey cowboy, better cowboy up to raise your little cowboy up. Oh yeah.
I know that western dust is 'cause son, I know it wasn't mine, but boy, you changed my life.
You better watch the way you walk and watch the way you talk. You got little eyes learning your every move, everything you say and everything you do. Show 'em how to be a man. Got his whole life in your hands. Hey cowboy, you better cowboy up to raise your little cowboy up. To raise your little cowboy up.
I know that western dust is in your blood, and settling down just ain't enough. Chasing the sun till your boots are raw. Thank y'all, thank you.
Thank you. This last one here is one that Lawson and I, we just put this song out. It's on all major streaming. You can find it on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube. We have a brand new music video out in this song that's been on a worldwide premiere. And so, if you like the song, be sure to check it out. This one's for all my God-fearing rednecks. This one's called Hillbilly Legal. Grew up watching my grandpa make that moonshine in the holler. Daddy used to run it by the gallon, anything to make $1. Sheriff never tried to bust a steal. Granddad always made sure he had his fill. 'Cause brother, you know around here we keep that Bible by the bed. Our guns fully loaded with lead. House is a double wide drive-in, side by side down an old dirt road. Our coon dogs run, we don't think you change us, but you won't. We fly the flag as high as an eagle. For redneck proud, hillbilly legal.
I used to sneak out and skip class to hit my honey holes. I loved it when that sweet bass swallowed my line and bit my fishing pole. Behind the school parking lot is where I got caught lighting up my first smoke. My mama was redder than the Marlboro lights, and I still got the scars to show.
We keep that Bible by the bed. Our guns fully loaded with lead. House is a double wide drive-in, side by side down an old dirt road. Our coon dogs run, we don't think you change us, but you won't. We fly the flag as high as an eagle. Redneck proud, hillbilly legal. I wouldn't trade a second of this backwoods life.
That's right.
'Cause if it's so wrong, I don't wanna be right. We keep that Bible by the bed. Our guns fully loaded with lead. House is a double wide drive-in, side by sides down an old dirt road. Our coon dogs run, we don't think you change us, but you won't. We fly the flag as high as an eagle. We fly the flag as high as an eagle. Redneck proud, hillbilly legal. Hillbilly legal.
Hillbilly
Law. Be sure to check us out on all major streaming, all social media, Land Law Music. Thank y'all so much. God bless y'all.
Y'all, thank you.
Hey, everybody, how are you doing tonight?
We're doing well. Yeah.
Tell us who you are and where you're from.
I'm Dan Weber. I live right here in Plano, Texas.
Where did you come from before that?
Oh my God, it's a long story. Before that, I lived for 30 years in the Pacific Northwest, and before that, I grew up in Western New York. Obviously, Western.
So you're a
New
Texan
York.
by choice.
I'm a Texan by relationship. I moved here for a woman I was in love with. That's why I moved to Texas.
Good move.
Yeah, I think so. And she moved here because her dad lived here. So.
Things work out that way sometimes. So tell us about your music.
Well, I mean, I just my last CD, The Way the River Goes, came out in 2022, and it was number 3 on the alt country charts, which was pretty cool. Along with a lot of people that I own all of their records. You know, I was super impressed by that. But it was, it's been fun. It's a little different because of COVID. I was playing 80, 90 shows a year before COVID, and then COVID hit, and I moved to Dallas and got divorced, and a bunch of things
That
happened.
affected everybody.
Yeah, so it's a lot different right now. Yeah.
So I know you've played at Kerrville, and you're an award-winning artist.
I've played Kerrville main stage last year, and I've been a 5-time finalist in the contest, and that was, yeah, that's, you know, I didn't know about it. Like I one year I met this guy in Portland who said, "Hey man, you should go to Kerrville. They're your people," and I had no idea. And so I drove 2,300 miles, and my car broke down in Odessa, in between Fort Stockton and Ozona, somewhere in there, and I met this guy who showed up, and he was his pickup truck was called Adios Wrecking, and he towed my car 150 miles the wrong direction. And somehow, like at the end of the day, I still made it to Kerrville, and I still like, those are my people now. So cool. I've had the pleasure of playing there in the main stage and being a finalist for 5 years, and it's Kerrville in like October is awesome. It's awesome in May. Kerrville is one of the great gifts to songwriters.
Texas anyway.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So you traveled to other states too. You've been to Wyoming recently.
Wyoming and Montana. I got to play in Cody, Wyoming, and Whitefish, Montana at a couple festivals, and man, it's cool. I played with Susan Gibson, who you might know from Wimberley, who wrote Wide Open Spaces for the Dixie Chicks, and even Steven, who wrote all of like he wrote I Love a Rainy Night, like all of those songs for Eddie Rabbitt. Was it Eddie Rabbitt? Yeah. So it's been really cool, yeah.
So you are a storyteller. Your
Yes,
songs,
ma'am.
some of them are really funny.
Some of them are not so funny, yes.
I love the one I do with Crazy All Day.
That's right, yeah.
And I'm sure that you want to tell us about your inspiration on that.
It's a standard thing for everybody. You get grouchy, like your cable company, and you're like, why am I being charged for blah blah blah? And then you get on the phone and you spend 40 minutes waiting to talk to somebody, and then you talk to somebody who can't help you, and then I swore at them and hung up. And then I woke up the next day and I was like, oh, they still haven't fixed my problem because I was an idiot and I swore at them and hung up. So I called the next day, and this time I figured out, like, instead of hitting like 140, I hit 140000000. I just finally got to a customer service agent, and it was the same guy I hung up on the day before, and so eventually they helped me out, but it was yeah.
Well,
I get frustrated by the processes of the universe that don't work as clearly as I think they should.
Well, if anybody out there hasn't had a chance to hear it, look him up on YouTube Music.
I do with Crazy all day.
Dan Weber. It's Weber, and there's 2 of them. Make sure you get the right one.
Like the grill in your backyard, Weber, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. It's been nice talking to you tonight.
Thank you, Brenda.
Back to the stage.
All right, folks. Let's hear it one more time for Land Law. Boys right here touring around from Arkansas. Could have had a night off, but they came up here to play instead. We appreciate it. And we got next up here, local fella, Mr. Greg Lee.
Thank you. We good? Ready? Nothing? There we go. That was my bad. I've never known anyone with wanderlust like her. She never settles down. I've never known anyone who could change their mind like her. I heard she's leaving town. Heard she's going out to California. I bet she doesn't even get to Arizona. She probably won't even see Santa Fe. All your friends, they try to warn her. You know what they say about a horse and water. She's always on the go, but she never stays. I've never known anyone who could sing a song like her. She always steals the show. I've never known anyone who could win a crowd like her. 10 minutes later, she's ready to go. Said she's gonna try her luck in Nashville. She won't even get west of Asheville. I bet she never even crosses High Rock Lake. All her friends, they try to warn her. You know what they say about a horse and water. She's always on the go, and she never stays. I've never known anyone who could conjure dreams like her. She lives inside my mind. I've never known anyone who could break a heart like her. She breaks mine all the time. Now she said she's headed on back home, that she's turned herself around and decided not to roam. But I know she'll only stay a couple of days. All your friends, they'll try to warn you. You know what they say about a horse and water. She's always on the go, but she never stays. No matter where she goes, she never stays. I've never known anyone like her. I've never known anyone like her. So that one is called I've Never Known. It's not too old from all these songs that we write. This next one, though, is like written in 1995. It was actually about me owning a grocery store, and I hated the grocery business, and I quit. And the subtitle is called "Watch You Fade Away," and the subtitle of it is actually "The Day I Quit My Job." But I wrote it to where it sounds like a person instead of a grocery store. I know I told you that
thought I'd try it for a while, but now I think that I'll be leaving town. There's no reason to stay, and when I check my rearview mirror, I'll gladly watch you fade away. There's been a change of plans, nothing to understand, nothing more for me to say. But some think hope will spring eternal, but it won't last without faith. And faith's the one thing that I just don't have. Nothing to believe anyway. And when you see a smiling face, the brightest one that you can find, they will have lost the race, come in second place to the one that will be mine. And when I check my rearview mirror, I'll gladly watch you fade away. There's been a change of plans, nothing to understand, nothing more for me to say. And when you see a smiling face, the brightest one that you can find, it will have lost the race, come in second place to the one that will be mine, to the one that will be mine. I know I told you that I'd stick around. I thought I'd try it for a while. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, good? We good?
Haven't switched the camera. Well, y'all have come a long way. Tell us who you are and where you're from.
Well, we're a brother duo called Landlaw out of Batesville, Arkansas.
Okay. How did y'all get started? I mean, you're young. You're 18 and 22. How did you get started in music?
We grew up with my grandpa's band, and he had a classic country band, and from a year old, we were on stage with him. We fell in love with the music, grew up on stage, and he passed away in 2017, and the band broke up, and we decided that was our time to keep it going and keep the legacy alive.
So your grandfather was your inspiration, and what type of music do you draw when you're writing your music too? So where are you drawing from?
Well, we were raised on classic country with him, and so when we write, we want to try to stick true to our roots with the classic country, but also incorporate in some a little bit with a modern twist, you know.
Where all have you been? You're on a tour right now. You're from Arkansas. You've been going through Texas, and you're fixing to go back up to Arkansas. And have you had any particular place or experience here since you've been in Texas that you've just really been impressed with or liked and had fun?
Music-wise, we played that Flowapalooza festival over in Grand Prairie. That was a great time. I mean, big nice stage, everything. It was a fun festival. Tourist-wise, we like the stockyards and all that over in Fort Worth.
A little more fun, yeah.
That's right.
I mean, we had a great time, and after the festival, we just kind of been going around town and exploring the music scene, and everybody's been really nice. And so we went and done a few open mics here and there, and we got several shows coming up from that. And so, you know, we're really blessed to get in the Texas area. We always wanted to get in this area because we always felt like our music resonates more and resides more here in Texas.
Well, I really enjoyed listening to you, and I'm glad you came in.
Thank you.
Where are you going from here next?
From here next, we're leaving tomorrow morning, going to Jonesboro, Arkansas. They got a big barbecue fest going on, and that's Friday night, ain't it? Saturday. They're bringing in Priscilla Block and a bunch of other people, and we're all going to play some music.
So your music is actually international now. Tell us about that.
We just released a brand new music video to our song Hillbilly Legal that we played, and it's been on a worldwide premiere, and so it's been really, really cool seeing all the stuff it's been on. It's been on Fox News, all kinds of stuff, Roku, all that good stuff, and we just won Duo of the Year in Holland from the video, and so it's been super cool to kind of see how far this thing has went around the world.
That is cool. I know a lot of people that are having their music played overseas in different countries, and we don't really think about them. They do like country music, and they like Texas music, and
That's right.
so that's really cool. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. In fact, Monday night we were playing at the Rhinestone Saloon over in Fort Worth,
yeah.
and we were just sitting up there singing our song. We look out in the crowd, song that's not even been released yet, other than a YouTube live video. We look
Singing
out in the
along
crowd.
with you?
Yep, they were
That's
out there
real
singing
cool
along.
there,
So,
yeah.
so they're from New Zealand. So
New
yeah,
Zealand.
that's right.
Awesome. All right. Well, tell everybody where they can find your music.
Absolutely. We are on all major streaming, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, YouTube, all that good stuff at Landlaw Music, LANLAW.
There you go.
And we're also on all social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that good stuff at Landlaw Music, LANLAW. And we would appreciate you if y'all go check us out.
Cool. So glad y'all came in. I hope you come back by and stop in again.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having us.
Thank you. All right. Well, enjoy your visit here and stick around and listen to the rest of the show tonight.
Will do.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Back to the stage.
All right, folks, let's hear it one more time from Mr. Greg Lee.
That's all.
Just played. All right, man. Next fella up here, Mr. Dan Benjamin. He's with a band called the Dead Keys. You can check out. I believe they have a gig coming up relatively soon.
Yeah.
But here you go. You're going to enjoy him, Mr. Dan Benjamin.
I'm gonna do a song I dreamed. I wrote it in my sleep. It's just a dream and it's strange. Seems as though you had too much to drink. You were lying on the floor without a sound. and he was no longer anywhere to be found. Your friend was there and she helped me carry you out to your wagon, and the old man was hitching up your horse. I saw your wagon had a flat, and I'm down there putting in the air, and your crazy horse kept chewing on my hair, and it seemed like we'd never make it anywhere. And then I thought about you there, and then I thought about you there. Thought about you there. I broke my last cigarette, and the tobacco was blowing in the wind. I'd pass that corner earlier around the bend, so I set out on a mission to run and get us all some smokes. I ran for miles down that block. I turned the corner and I had ran too far. And there were so many people in front of that bar, and the sidewalk was littered with wrecked cars, and the tires were screaming where the rubber touched the tar. And then I wondered where you are, and then I wondered where you are. Wondered where you are. Then I thought about you there. Thought about you there. Then I wondered where you are. Then I wondered where you are. Wondered where you are. I told you it was weird. This one's about life. started thinking that it could ever end. Then it comes crashing down. Then it comes crashing down. Then it comes crashing down. Just when you think you got it all figured out, see all these little pieces on the ground. Then it comes crashing down. Then it comes crashing down. Then it comes crashing down.
I guess I got one more. It's one I wrote about a guy I went to college with years ago. And it kind of tells the story.
How are you today, James? Do you want to go for a ride? Maybe go to the place where the river spreads out so wide. How long has it been, James? How long has it been, James? How many nights have you been alone? Where does the time go, my friend? Where does time go? Where does time go? How many nights have you been alone? How long has it been, James? How
That's it for me.
Thank you.
Whoa.
Welcome to the Rambler Radio Show.
Thank
Tell
you
us
very
who
much,
you
Brenda.
are and where you're from.
My name's T. Roy. I come from Beaumont, Texas. But I actually moved up to Dallas way back in the 80s, and I played around Dallas in the 80s with a guy named Robert Hunt. And yeah, that's it. And after that, I just sort of came up out of the swamps of southeast Texas. Just appeared one day.
Well, you've had an interesting tale on your musical journey. And right now, where are you on that?
I started writing. My day job is I'm a writer of Jewish church music, and I signed with a record label out of Israel in 2001 and started touring the world. But I'm not Jewish, and it just all I always write these songs, life experiences that had, they're not really things you want to play in a church, right? So I actually just started recording songs on the side in 2014. And I came out with my 4th album last February, and I thought, I should probably tell somebody I'm doing this. And so I got this album, T. Roy and the Smoking Section, Dining Area came out last February, and I started sending it out and went through Groover. You know what Groover is? Mm-hmm. Anyway, I've been getting nothing but just fantastic reviews, every song on it, and getting airplay all over the world except America, it seems like. A little bit of airplay in America, but anyway, I'm just, I kind of been out of that scene for about 30 years, and I'm just trying to figure it out again, So,
You're writing kind of bluesy, soulful rock right now?
well, that's what I always wrote. I was playing professionally when I was 17 years old. I was playing 6 nights a week at the Foxy Lady Bar down in Beaumont in 1977. So, yes, I am old. But it was always, I'm from Beaumont. Johnny Winter, Janis Joplin, it's a hot blues kind of sound that comes from there with Zydeco. Clifton Chenier was playing across the street from us every night, So I grew up, in this hodgepodge of hot blues. And I don't know, for me, after I'd done it for a while, I just got bored and I wanted to go off and do something else. And I do that very seasonally, So anyways, now I'm on a kick of kind of going back to, who am I, So I got a lot of music out.
So you have your 4th album, you're saying you just released it.
My 4th T. Roy album, yeah. I actually have 18 albums in the
18?
other genre,
Okay.
right.
All right, so how would you describe this last album?
Beaumont, what is Texas music? It's blues,
Little
it's
Gulf,
rock,
Texas Gulf
it's
music.
some country, it's some Zydeco, it's, but it comes out with sort of a hot blues kind of sound, I'm trying to be rock, but, my friend Rob Hunt calls me Tex, so, anyway, I just call it Texas.
So the songs that you played earlier tonight, I enjoyed listening to those. Are those on your new album?
The first one is from the next album, and the second one is from something I did in 2018.
They got a
The
sneak
third
peek
album.
tonight then.
Huh?
They got a sneak peek tonight then.
Yeah, I got plenty of music. I got albums just pouring out of me. So
And they're all on YouTube and all the other channels
yeah,
out
T.
there?
Roy and the Smoke it's everywhere that you would search.
All right. Well, it's been a pleasure getting to know you tonight.
Thank you, Brenda. It's been fun
Where
being
can
here.
anybody find you next? Are you touring anywhere?
I'm playing in Blanco on Sunday. But unfortunately, I can't remember the name of the place. It's T. Roy and the Smoking Section. Look at my website
And they're on
find
Facebook
out.
too?
Yeah, I'm everywhere that, I'm kind of antisocial, but I am in some social media.
All right. Well, it's been cool meeting you tonight. Thank you so
Brenda.
much.
My pleasure.
All right, and back to the stage.
Awesome. All right, guys, let's hear it one more time for Dan Benjamin of the Dead Keys. All right, so we got our last performer on the open mic side of things tonight. This is one half of a duo called Biscuits and Crazy with a gentleman who will be up here later, Mr. Dan Weber. This is the one and only Lynn McCracken.
Thank you. You have to guess who the Biscuits and who the Crazy is. We kind of alternate. We'll see. I haven't seen if he's crazy tonight or not, so. I used to not let people come to my shows, so I would just not tell people I was playing, and it was like a big secret. So anyway, I wrote this song about that. You can't come to my show. You can beg, you can plead, but I'll still say no. You can't come to my show. No, no, no. It's in a dark, dank bar, miles from here, far enough away to face my fear, where no one knows my name. And if I mess up, there will be no shame. And she said, what on earth are you afraid of? It's hard for me to see. I know what you are made of. When you're scared, just think of me. I knew right away she was right, so I didn't even bother to fight. This little girl was looking up to me. She's the one who taught me bravery. When she said, what on earth are you afraid of? It's hard for me to see. I know what you are made of. When you're scared, just think of me. When you're scared, just think of me. When you're scared, just think of me. Yeah, that was when a second grader, like, basically bitch slapped me and was like, what are you afraid of? She was having chemo and all sorts of really hard stuff in second grade, so I was like, oh, you're right. You're right. Anyway. All right. Anybody here feel like a disaster today? If you do, you can sing along to this one, okay? What was that? Every day. Oh, good, I'm not the only one. Thank you. When you ask me how I'm doing, do you really want to know? We're passing in the hall, and I know you've got to go. I'll smile and say I'm fine, like I do every time. And I'll keep what's going on buried deep inside. I feel like a disaster, falling faster and faster, like a deck of cards that just got scattered. Gotta pull it together. When I walk through the door, I don't know if I can fake it anymore. I feel like a disaster. Why do we ask these questions when we don't even care? It's like asking for directions when we're not going anywhere. I'm tired of all this small talk, the same words every day. No one knows each other, 'cause we don't want to say. I feel like a disaster, falling faster and faster, cards that just got scattered. Gotta pull it together. When I walk through the door, I don't know if I can fake it anymore. I feel like a disaster. I know it's hard to see through the images we show, smiling for the camera. Does anybody know? How did you know? I feel like a disaster, falling faster and faster, like a deck of cards that just got scattered. Gotta pull it together. When I walk through the door, I don't know if I can fake it anymore. I feel like a disaster. Thank you. Thank you.
Lynn McCracken, y'all.
It's a true story. And now, Dan. Dan, what's your last name? Dan's interview.
Benjamin.
Dan Benjamin. Thank you. There's lots of Dans here.
Well, hi,
Thank
Dan.
you.
Welcome to the Rambler Radio Show. Tell everybody who you are and where you're from.
I'm Dan Benjamin, and I'm a Dallas, Texas transplant. I came here in the 70s from Indiana, Ohio, right on the border there.
All right. And you have a band. What's the name of your band?
The Dead Keys.
All right. Well, what have you and the Dead Keys been doing lately?
We played a show on Friday at Dallas Hemp Company. Just a trio. We're a 7-piece band, but we did a trio show. That was pretty cool. It was all acoustic. And we have a show coming up on Saturday, October 7th in Garland at Intrinsic Smokehouse and Brewery. It's a festival called Snaketoberfest.
It's down on the square in Garland.
Yeah, down on the square on State Street. Yeah. It's a cool thing. They do it every year. This is number 9. We did number 5. We're going to do number 9. And it's all for the 45 Foundation, which is suicide prevention.
It's a good cause.
Yes, it's a very good cause. And it'll be an all-day thing from 11 to 11.
There's going to be a lot of
12
bands on the bill.
12 bands, yeah. It's 12 bands. It's all dang day.
All dang day. Well, Dan, tell everybody about your music. What kind of music you play?
I do like folk music. I play with a bunch of people, and so it ends up being folk jam.
Folk jams. Well, what drives you or inspires you to write your music?
Just different stuff. I'll be sitting on my porch or something and hear the cars out on the highway and just write a song. I can hear the cars out on the highway.
Just write a song.
It just happens. Or like earlier, I sang that song about a dream. I had a dream and I woke up and it was a song.
There it was.
And I don't normally remember my dreams, so the fact that I even remembered it.
It's pretty cool. Tell us, where can we find your music? Where are you online besides Facebook? Do you have other outlets?
Yeah, we have just a little Facebook page, but we're also on all the streaming formats, like Apple Music and Pandora and Spotify. I don't know, whatever you name it.
Well,
YouTube.
As far as where people can find you next, I know that Monday nights you host open mic at the Fraternal Order of Eagles.
Yes, yeah, I'm an open mic host on Monday nights at the Fraternal Order of the Eagles, which is, we call it the FOE. And it's from 6 to 11 every Monday. And it's pretty cool. It's a cool place.
We've been there a time or two.
Yeah,
All right. Well, I've enjoyed talking to you tonight.
thank you.
We'll see you October the 7th down at the Square in Garland.
Oh, cool.
All right.
See you then. Thank you.
Thank you. And back to the stage.
Thank you.
All right. I know. He got me working hard. I'm still on the camera.
Oh, I guess I should.
Looky there.
Oh.
Well, Judd, it's been a moment or two since I've seen you. What have you been doing?
Yeah. Nothing special. Just
Well,
playing on occasion.
for everybody, this is Judd Block.
Yeah.
And tell everybody where you're from.
I am from, I used to say Fort Worth, but I'm from Arlington. That's right. So now that people know where Arlington's at, I can actually say the name of the city. For the longest time, no one knew where the hell Arlington, Texas was. So,
Well, I thought everybody knew where that was because of Six Flags and the
you would
Rangers.
think, you would think, yeah, you would think.
You'd think?
But it was just like mostly a field when I lived there. It was like a Snappy Jack's convenience store, and then a huge field until they got an Albertsons. So, yeah, big time.
All right, well, tell everybody about your music.
My music. Okay, well, I started out in punk, fronting a cowpunk band, and after that, did that for about 10 years, and then decided, I'd really like to get into the singer-songwriter side of stuff. And so I call what I play empty chamber music. Things rarely turn out well for the people in the songs, and for the while I did fight that. I tried to kind of steer things back into a more positive direction, but I realized things are sort of naturally going that, and I said I'm going to quit fighting it. So I just decided to go with it, and now everything is horribly dark and depressing. Yep.
Well, you're the nicest guy, so we always talk about your music being so dark, and it's like, okay.
It's got to come out somewhere. You know.
Well, what do you have going on right now?
Next thing I'm playing is going to be at the Whistle Stop Jamboree on October 7th in Frisco at the Rail Yard. And a bunch of good folks are playing that, so I'm excited.
We played there a time or two.
Yeah, it's a good place.
It is.
It's a
I
good
like
place. Yeah, Mr. D.B. Duncan puts all that together. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
All right. Well, where do you draw your inspiration for all this dark music that you're writing?
So strangely enough, a lot of it has come from literature more than music. Cormac McCarthy, Larry Brown, writers like that. And so, I guess my whole point was trying to be a musical Cormac McCarthy, which I know I've fallen miserably short of that endeavor. But and in terms of songwriters, Stuart Adamson, who is the front man for Big Country, is the guy. He's the reason why I play music. But then other guys like Eric Taylor, Warren Zevon, Jason Molina, people like that, and they all kind of list to the dark side of things. So, so it all kind of between the literature and those kind of songwriters, it just that's kind of the path I kept walking down.
Well, did you have a moment that you knew that that's what you wanted to do?
Yeah, when I heard Big Country for the first time, when I heard this kind of Scottish poetry coming out of this kind of post-punk, hard-edged music, and realized you could write poetry and still make music. Now, I know a lot of people say Bob Dylan and people like that, but it wasn't Dylan or Neil Young, or it was a guy named Stuart Adamson out of Scotland who made me go, you know what, I can think I'd like to do that.
Well, I can relate to the poetry side because I write poetry, and I'm
Yes.
trying to learn that process of converting it into songs. It's not that easy.
It's not. Kind of the syllables get in the way sometimes. So I think that's where the punk background comes into play because I can say things really fast. Even if the syllables don't work out, you can say things really quickly. So that helps.
I'm going to have to do some background check now to see if there's some music out there from the punk background because I'm having a hard time visualizing that with you.
There is. There's some stuff. Actually, it's on my Bandcamp page. It's probably the best album. We only put out 2 albums. One was okay. Second one I never officially released, but it's out there now.
You know, I'm going to be looking it up. All right, so everybody can find you on October the 7th at Frisco
October
Rail
7th.
Yards.
Yep,
And
yep.
where can they find your music?
I have a website, juddblockmusic.com, and I'm on all the usual digital dispensaries. You can find me pretty much anywhere.
Okay. Well, I've enjoyed chatting with you tonight. Thank you so much.
Good talking to you, Brenda.
All right. Have a good evening.
I'm really enjoying his dance moves. It's like it's kind of his dance moves. I don't remember.
I know he was doing that earlier before I was blind.
Should be okay.
I did. I got it. We all sitting down? I'm sitting. Yeah. I'm a sitter.
I'm a stander, but due to my recent back injury, that might just lay on my side.
Due to my back pain, I'm a sitter. So I kind of sort of understand you.
I heard it in a few years left. I couldn't, they were like, okay, here's some ibuprofen, here's a chiropractor.
What does that
here's
change?
Here's some weed.
I'm the same height. Look, here's a gummy. I like it.
Probably
Mm-hmm.
4, maybe 5. 4, maybe 5. Cheer.
That ought to do it. There it is.
I'm XLR into that box. Coming out of here into the
I could probably use a little more guitar when you're ready, Keaton. Thanks.
Hey, check. Wow. Whoa.
Alrighty, welcome tonight. We're getting closer here. We got the fabulous Justin Picker down here on your stage left, our stage right. We got Jeff Hobson here. Another local hero, Dan Weber, award-winning songwriter and extraordinaire. And I'm Dan Christian, the host of the Rambler Radio show also, and your resident songwriter.
He's the wizard behind the curtain.
I started off kind of, this is a song I'm working on in the studio right now. It's called Christina. It's a true story about a true person, about a true thing, about Silas Knowles. It's called Christina.
I've got one in my case.
It's not a cable or something.
Start it off, Dan, and I'll...
Hey, check.
I think he wanted Justin to finish tonight. That's why he wanted to get.
That's a brand new song. Are you prepared here? You good?
Dave's back.
Hey, Keaton.
Dave's back.
Back like he forgot
Can you come
something.
here and see what this feedback is that's happening? I don't know if you can hear it from over there.
It's got one of those guitars that you can just plug it in the side.
Yeah, mine goes right there.
Oh, it's that. Yeah, it's good. There's constant. There it is.
You got juice?
Yeah,
I do.
bring that down.
You got me down, though. Well, she's beautiful to see, lovely as can be. I'd love to have her on, that gives everything. Well, she's someone to meet, no matter how hard things sweet. Children at her feet that come to her. Christina. Well, I seen her in her evening with a daughter, barely breathing, and a son with his demons by the door. She stays on through the night till everything's alright. Till her heart is left out on the floor. Christina, she's like a seed of a flower. It lives more like a tower, holding up by the hour so nobody falls. So nobody falls. Christina, well, she loves like an angel, but hasn't found a way home. Seems like forever, like nobody knows. Christina, she's like a seed of a flower, lives more like a tower, holding up by the hour so nobody falls. So nobody falls. Christina, Christina, thank you, thank you.
Okay.
Chin up and carry on.
Adapt and over.
This is called Goodbye, Maggie Valley. I spent one last night in Nashville, and the only reason why was to stay and see some old friends, maybe drink ourselves dry. I said goodbye to Tom and Kristen and Louise down at the bar. Walked back home that night, never felt so far. Farewell, Maggie Valley. Farewell, you tall white pines. Farewell, Maggie Valley. Good is gone this time. Only taking what I can take from the bed of my Ranger truck. The rest all went to Goodwill. Good riddance, it's just stuff. On the kitchen table you'll find my forwarding address. I'll miss this town a little. I'll miss you more than I'll confess. Farewell, Maggie Valley. Farewell, you tall white pines. Farewell, Maggie Valley. I'm good as soon. And I lay awake for hours, not knowing what to do. 'Cause I loved you to pieces, but the pieces fell apart. They never tell you that at the start. It's gonna take a little while to find my feet again. All those easy answers ain't so easy in the end. They say this valley's haunted by the ones who came before. Yeah, we've all got our ghosts, but I don't need mine anymore. Farewell, Maggie Valley. Farewell, your tall white pines. Farewell, Maggie Valley. I'm good as gone this time. Farewell, Maggie Valley. Farewell, your tall white pines. Farewell, Maggie Valley. I'm good as gone this time. I'm good as gone this time. I'm good as gone this time.
Nice song, Dan. Like that one. I'm out of tune already. I can't play a song I wrote about songwriting and songwriters out of tune.
You got your guitar backwards. It's supposed to be this way. You got the.
Oh,
You're holding it upside down.
I've often wondered if that could be the source of the problem. There, there's the culprit right there. Like I said, this is a song I wrote. It's on my first album. It came out back in 2014. God, it's a long time. But it's a song I wrote about songwriting and songwriters. So it's about most of the people in this room right now. People with pens have the same old affliction of needing to pour out their lives on the page, and heartaches and bad breaks and sundry addictions, fighting and hiding that old common rage. We go looking for answers we can't seem to find. In all the wrong places, our story's the same. We join with our causes, and the blind lead the blind, looking for saviors or someone to blame. And sometimes there's no reason, sometimes there's no rhyme, sometimes there's no season for our kindred kind. So distill it like whiskey and age it with time. Find one good reason and make the words rhyme. Selling your soul
at the price of a pauper. Seems right when you're staring defeat in the face. But a moment of pleasure a whore has to offer. But eternity weeps when you give up your place. The search for the truth and the folly of fools looks like the same thing outside looking in. So to hell with convention, damn all the rules. 'Cause one man's salvation is another man's sin. And sometimes there's no reason, sometimes there's no rhyme. Sometimes there's no season for our kindred kind. So distill it like whiskey and age it with time. Find one good reason and make the words rhyme. Find one good reason, make the damn thing rhyme. Thank you.
Oh, thanks. I knew this chicken was a tough duck to pluck. This living is a hard road to hoe. I guess you didn't really ever know how hard it will be on my soul. I need Jesus, I need Otis, I need to watch a tide roll on the dock of the bay. Put in a good word for me when you call on the Lord. I've been rambling so much I forget how to pray. So the road has you splitting and a code has you cracking and a key has you searching for doors. So stand if you're sitting and tell if you're asking and cussing and spitting and yellowing napkins and wishing and shitting and kissing like Alaskans. Don't ice it and glass it if it ain't what you're thirsty for. You need a vision, you need Jim. Don't go riding that storm if your mojo ain't risen. You can voice your opinion, but it may go unheard. I've been rambling so much I forget how to listen. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You weaken my heart with a cherry on top. The red just reminds me, so fly a checkered flag and line up behind me with stickers and buttons and packages and tags and blue ribbons and trophies and golden brown muffins and cabbage and goat cheese and women who know me, who told you I only will drag you to the first place to stop. I need breakfast, I need Elvis. Well, this is a heartbreak hotel, it ain't no place to be. I guess it's on me if you got eyes for my girl. I'm a scrambled egg and I forget how to see. Well, you knew this chicken was a tough duck to pluck. It's no kidding, I'm a hard seed to sow. I guess you didn't really ever know how narrow the line is I told. I need balance, I need Johnny, I need to watch the tide roll on the dock of the bay. Put in a good word for me when you call on the Lord. I've been rambling so much I forget how to pray. I've been rambling so long I forget how to pray. Oh, shit. Thanks.
You have to, he had to learn to speak in tongues to sing that song.
This one's talking about, it's called One Last Day in Tennessee.
Right on.
One One last time I see your face. One last thing left to embrace. Well, I came here to ease my mind. What I came for, I did find. Well, the beauty of this place is so in me. It's one last day in Tennessee. Well, my time here has brought me home. Things that I wanted, things that I own. Well, I found the way that I want to live. Found the things that I want to give. Well, I keep my heart here close to me. It's one last day in Tennessee. I found my way, I found my peace. When I leave some here. Well, I made my way, I made my peace. I'll leave it hard, I'll leave it hard, I'll leave it here. It's one last day in Tennessee. One last day in Tennessee. Well, my time, it seems soon I see myself. Still some story left to tell. Well, it'll be another journey on. It'll be another day, another day to dawn. Well, these things all live inside of me. It's one last day in Tennessee. One last day in Tennessee. One last day in Tennessee.
Well, from a song about Tennessee to another about driving through Tennessee. One night back in 1989, my friend at the time said, "Hey man, let's go down to Louisville this weekend. And let's see this band, the Grateful Dead." So we did. And ironically enough, it was the one time in the Grateful Dead's 50-year history that they played a song by this band called the Kingsmen. That's right, the Grateful Dead, ironically enough, played Louie Louie in Louisville, Kentucky. And if you think about the Kingsmen doing Louie Louie, and you just kind of close your eyes for a second, think about that song. And then you open your eyes and you think about the Grateful Dead doing Louie Louie, and you soon realize it was the worst version of Louie Louie that you've ever heard in your whole damn life. It's true, I was there that night, April 9th, 1989. This is the song, this is the story of what happened that night. This is called Hank and Jesus. South of Louisville, Kentucky, on I-65, I pulled into a rest stop before I pushed on through the night. I met this deadhead with a backpack. Man, I knew that guy. He asked if you're heading south, well, I could really use the ride. But I'm only on this interstate, just as far as Bowling Green. Then I'm cutting west towards Memphis, where the blues don't treat you mean. And we drove the blue highways across Tennessee and back, and I don't recall not even once stopping for gas. He said, "I know you won't believe me, that's alright. I just wanted someone to talk with tonight." So I drove and he told stories. They started sounding weird, like he'd been to Woodstock and never came back from there. He said friends of his were angels, and most of them were saints, except this one guy named Judas, who he swore had been framed. He believed what he was saying, yeah, but me, I had my doubts. So I pulled off at this bar, hoping he might clear out. And we drove the blue highways across Tennessee and back, and I don't recall not even once stopping for gas. He said, "I know you won't believe me, that's alright. I just wanted someone to talk with tonight." In the parking lot, he came clean. He said he was Jesus Christ. And I said, "Yeah, then I'm Hank Williams, man. Maybe you should drive." He said Hank was up with Audrey now. They were doing fine. But you know that not one of us gets out of this world alive. So it's 100 miles to Memphis in the middle of the night, with those high beams searching for just a little light. He said life is like this two-lane road, it's a crooked deal. I said she pulls a little to the left, Jesus keep both hands on the wheel. And we drove the blue highways across Tennessee and back, and I don't recall not even once stopping for gas. someone to talk with tonight. He said, I know you don't believe in me, but that's alright. I just wanted someone to talk with tonight. That's Hanging Jesus. I do, for what it's worth, I don't have one with me up here, I don't think, but I do have free What Would Hanging Jesus Do bumper stickers. They're free, and the best part is, like, your neighbor's probably not going to vote for the person you want them to vote for. So when it gets dark outside, you could just walk up to their Range Rover and put my What Would Hanging Jesus Do bumper sticker right over the top of their sticker.
No.
Keep it off the paint. Don't think of it as vandalism. Think of it as activism, and just be subtle about it.
I wrote a song something like that one time. That was a great song, by the way. I enjoyed it. I didn't want to pick on it. I just want to sit and listen to the words of that. That was awesome. She stayed lovely well into her years. She came out smelling like roses despite the bourbon and the beer. Yeah, she sent some good ones packing. Heartbreaks created fears. Then the young man's eyes grew distant and her raging eyes drew tears. She found Jesus in the alley, her lunch in the lost and found. Her conversion was an anomaly, her reputation on the ground. But she shouted hallelujah, and she shouted amen, till the loneliness reclaimed its place, and she wound up lost again, again and again. Sometimes she'd get the love look from the young man at the bar. She could paint just like Picasso and hide the wrinkles and the scars. Sometimes she needed loving, sometimes it was cocaine, and sometimes a shot of free fall, or all three to kill her pain. But she found Jesus in the alley, her lunch in the lost and found. Her conversion was an anomaly, her reputation on the ground. But she shouted hallelujah, and she shouted amen, till the loneliness reclaimed its place, and she wound up lost again, again and again. Her love affair with Jesus came on the heels of her great loss. He gazed down with compassion, transfixed upon his cross. Her world gone dark and crazy, her guilt profound and cold. She reached out to a graven image for a bloody hand to hold. But it turns out Jesus couldn't hold her like she needed to be held. She tried so hard to cling to him through her heaven and her hell. Satisfaction seemed more reachable in a lowly motel room. And no judgment from the holy people, and relief is coming soon. And she found Jesus in the alley, her lunch in the lost and found. Her conversion was an anomaly, her reputation on the ground. But she shouted hallelujah, and she shouted amen, till the loneliness reclaimed its place, and she wound up lost again, again and again. She slips her number in his wallet, not expecting him to call. And she lays in a motel bed and stares at a cross upon the wall. Thanks.
Good job, Jeff Hobson. I've heard that song before.
Yes, you have.
Good stuff. So, how's everybody doing? Thanks for us jamming together, guys.
Yeah, man. What a joy.
Yeah. I'm gonna do a song called X's.
This is a good one. Listen to this. Listen to this.
Well, nothing kills the romance like the cold blue lips of death, a kiss that only angels have reckoned with. Like the soft crunch of gravel beneath a long black Cadillac, well, heartbreak is forever, take me back. All my exes are dead, so maybe you could stay a while instead. Up in heaven or burning in hell or reincarnated. All my exes are dead. Lori is in purgatory, Laura's in a jar. Evie tried to leave me, but she didn't get too far. Well, Katie met her fate, she always believed in the Quran. Monique is in the creek, Suzanne is in my van. All my exes are dead. I got bullet holes and blood stains on my bed. I crossed their T's and I dotted their I's when I wrote their names in red. All my exes are dead. You just put them in the ground and walk away. But I'm reminded every night through the halls and in the rooms, I hear footsteps, hollow voices, bangs and booms. All my exes are dead. I'll tell it to the shovel in my shed. Buried bones in a haunted house and handprints where they bled. All my exes are dead. So maybe you could stay a while instead. Hit by trains and mauled by dogs and whacked upside the head. All my exes are up in heaven or burning in hell or reincarnated. All my exes, all my exes, all my exes are dead. Oh, thanks.
I see you're really into older women.
song.
That's what
Yeah.
going on there.
Boy, I'll tell you what.
All right, this was probably a little smoother, something you can pick along with. There's a highway going my way, but he rides more like a gravel load rolling on, rolling past all those things that never seem to last. That's alright, gets me where I'm going. So I ride on my own.
Guess me where I'm going. So I ride on my own. I don't know where she might have gone. Couldn't follow down that long road that I must go. Down that grave road, going on. Guess me where I'm going. 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 Guess me where I'm going.
How'd you like me and Hop noodling on your stuff?
That was great.
Trading.
We had fun.
We were swapping licks.
Yeah. We were enjoying ourselves.
It's a good song, man. I love that.
Yeah, thanks for the entertainment, Dave.
Good jams. Good jams.
Good song.
Y'all had a good pandemic. Everything was cool. I mean, it's all good. You got through it. Everything's good.
I got through the first one just fine.
I got divorced. I got divorced and moved to Plano from the Pacific Northwest. It was the pandemic was weird in all the ways the pandemic could be weird. I wrote this one kind of in the middle of it because I was feeling somewhat hopeless, and then of course a hopeful song came out. They say trouble's where you find it. Trouble just found me. It's been coming on in slow-mo as far as I can see. Like an accident, you hit the brakes. You know you cannot stop. Right before the lights go out, you scream, oh my God. Well, here's to better days ahead and a love that's hard to find. Here's to finding out that you don't need the thing you left behind. Here's to waking up tomorrow alive in your bed. Here's to prayers you meant to say out loud for better days ahead. My dad gave me his tape measure right before the cancer spell. He never underestimated me. I did that to myself. Some lines are worn off, but the spring is still intact. I still try to measure up to Dad, but the numbers ain't exact. Well, here's to better days ahead and a love that's hard to find. And here's to finding out that you don't need the things you left behind. Here's to waking up tomorrow alive in your bed. Here's to prayers you meant to say out loud. Better days ahead. It haunts me in the morning when the house is deathly still. I missed a turn somewhere, I guess I always will. I tried hard to listen, but the signal won't come in. How did I find myself back here again? Well, here's the better days ahead and a love that's hard to find. Here's to finding out that you don't need the things you left behind. Here's to waking up tomorrow alive in your bed. Here's to prayers you meant to say out loud. Better days ahead. Here's to better days ahead and a love that's hard to find. Here's to finding out that you don't need the things you left behind. Here's to waking up tomorrow alive in your bed. Here's the prayers you meant to say out loud. Better days ahead. Here's the prayers you meant to say out loud. Better days ahead. It's weirdly helpful, I know.
Here's the lead-off track to the new album. Just came out back in April. It's a happy breakup song. Country music is so full of crying your beer, sad sack, poor me. I decided to write a happy breakup song, so I did. And it goes like this. Well, the gutters were running full when you pulled from the curb. It was coming down in buckets, and I stood there with hands in my pockets with no final words. And I walked back into a house that knows me, wondering what will my new status quo be. The echo of my footsteps is all I heard. Well, now it's been a week, and I thought there'd be a whole lot of tears. Instead, I laughed till I cried. I thought I would die at some old movie I hadn't seen in years. I thought a crowd would gather around to kick a man when he's down. But the atmosphere in here shoots down my fears. 'Cause I'd come to believe life had crashed and burned. There's life on the table once the tables had turned. So far, so good. It's turning out better than I thought it would. So good, so far. I
used to the way things are so far. So good, so good, so far. Now the remote's all mine when the TV's on. It sure as hell ain't no pity, no more sex in the city, all day marathon. There's room in my closet for all of my clothes, and when the weekend comes, anything goes, and no more bitching about the mess in the kitchen since you've been gone. 'Cause I'd come to believe life had crashed and burned. There's life on the table once the tables had turned. So far, so good. It's turning out better than I thought it would. So good, so far. I can get used to the way things are. So far, so good, so good, so far. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Breakup can be the happiest moment in your life. You just don't know it at the time. You know.
I like that one.
Got an
I
amen.
heard that one.
Got an amen from the choir back here.
Amen.
Got a
I think that's my favorite one on the new record.
Oh yeah? Yeah. Well, thank you.
It definitely sticks out.
I'm glad you have a favorite one off of it.
Yeah, I listened to it.
Thanks, man.
I got it on the iTunes as soon as you dropped it, as soon as it came out. So.
That's why I like you so much.
Snagged it right up. Definitely recognize that one.
Thanks a lot, buddy. Means a lot coming from a guy like you, man.
Oh, you know, because I'm handsome.
Yeah, you got good tattoos.
Thank you, Hobson. Good for something. What am I gonna play? You wanna do some stuff on this one?
I will.
Well, I'm twisting and turning. When I sleep, I want to lay by your side. When I wake up alone, I want to lay down and die. 'Cause on a good day, I'm crying. And on a bad day, I'm not so inclined. And you know that I'm lying when I speak words unkind. And this joint that I'm hitting, well, it's a hell of a place to run. Well, I'm damned if I didn't, and I'm damned if I done. And that pillow you're squeezing, well, maybe is softer than me, but it won't hold your hand, so don't set me free. 'Cause on a good night you're crying, and on a bad night your tears all fell out. 'Cause I hang you for drying, and I'll leave you in doubt. And that whiskey I shot, Well, it's a hell of a place to run. Oh, but if you forgot, well, I'm a son of a gun. And I'm twisting and turning, I'm living and learning. My heart is tangled in you. And I'm twisting and turning. This bed where I'm laying, well, it's a hell of a place to hide. Well, I'm hoping and praying that our love hasn't died. And I'm twisting and turning, I'm living and learning. And my heart is tangled in you. Well, I'm twisting and turning.
Nice, nice.
Thank you. Thanks, buddy. That was fun.
It was fun.
Fucking A.
All right, we'll try this thing. So I took a little hiatus, a little while from music for a while. But when I came back, I got seriously into the Guy Clarks and the Towns Van Zants and the whole Texas thing. So I've been struggling to write this song for a while. There's a cheat sheet for you, Dan, if you want. It's a song about Don Pedro, Texas legend.
It's the one you told me about. Huh?
The cheat sheet behind you. So Don Pedro was this guy came from Mexico back in the 1880s. He had a terrible accident. Ran into a tree with his bridge of his nose while he was riding a horse and tore the flesh all the way to the bone. So to relieve the pain one night, he had this insatiable urge to go out and lay face down in this lagoon. So it immediately relieved the pain. But he still had this terrible scar his whole life. Then he heard this voice, and this voice told him, from now on, you would cure in God's name. So he received his dawn, which was the gift. So then from now on, he was known as Don Pedro. You can imagine 100 people waiting outside his door, waiting for their time to see him, to hear his homespun remedies of faith. Don Pedro, the healer, Texas soul, the seer, the connector of faith to the soul, to make the body whole. Well, droves they came when they learned of his fame, became the hope, the dream, a life without pain. Mothers and daughters, the carols and fathers, traveled days that she's free. They travel for days, 1,000 miles, made the way to reach the camp at Las Alamos, where hundreds might rest and wait. All right, we'll do one more round here, I guess, and so these guys will wrap it up here, and we'll call it a night. We appreciate y'all being here.
I was having problems with my email service for a while. My internet provider, my ISP, was messing around. I don't know what was happening, but I decided I'd call him. It was a Friday, so I called him. And it was Comcast, the evil enterprise. So I called Comcast up and I dialed 1 for English and 4 for email, and then I pressed 0 for customer service, and then I sat on hold for 57.5 minutes. And finally someone picked up the phone and said, "Comcast, this is Philip. How may I help you?" And I talked to Philip about my problem with my email, and he said, "Well, the problem is you're sending too many emails out to your fans, I guess, for your shows."
Is there such a thing?
I directed him to my website, danwebermusic.com. That's a shameless promotion, by the way. And I directed him there, and he said, "There's nothing we can do about it. You're a spammer." And so I swore at Philip and I hung up. I could do that because I'm from New York originally. Obviously, I'm from Western New York. You can't tell. And I swore at Philip and then I hung up. And then I woke up on Saturday morning and realized I still didn't have email. So I dialed Comcast back up. I dialed 1 for English, 4 for email, and then 000000000 as many times as I can do it. And this time it only took like 19 minutes to finally get somebody on the phone. And I picked up the phone and said, Comcast, this is Philip. And it was the same guy I swore at and hung up on the day before. And I was talking to Philip, and he said, man, there's really nothing I can do. And I said, Philip, can I ask you a crazy question? He said, go for it, man. I deal with crazy all day. And I was like, I'm sorry, Philip, I gotta go. So I wrote the song for Philip. And anybody else who deals with crazy all day. I mean, now that I moved to Texas, I don't have Comcast. But somewhere out there, Philip is still answering phone calls. Well, I paid last month right on the date, but now they say that I was late. Well, I know they're wrong, I can plainly see when they took my money. I called customer service on the phone. I said, there's been some mistake. I said, I know that sounds crazy. He said, no, I don't. I deal with crazy all day. Crazy all day long. Crazy, it's the same old song. I don't know why it's gotta be this way, but I deal with crazy all day. I mean, who doesn't? I was driving too fast like I sometimes do when I got pulled over that night. The cop said, do you know how fast you were going, son? I said, yeah, think about 85, and I know cars were in my way. I said, I know that sounds crazy. He said, no, I don't. I deal with crazy all day. Crazy all day long. Crazy, it's the same old song. I don't know why it's gotta be this way, but I deal with crazy all day. That's right. Wound up. I want off of this ride. I want off of this ride. Well, I never saw it coming, never felt nothing. Everything was going just fine. I was walking down the streets of old Richardson, Texas, and I saw this flash of light. Next thing I know, I'm standing there at the pearly gates. Oh no, crazy. He said, no, my son, I deal with crazy all day. That's right, crazy all day long. Crazy, it's the same old song. Don't know why it's gotta be this way, but I deal with crazy all day. Crazy all day long. Crazy, it's the same old song. Don't know why it's gotta be this way, but I deal with crazy all day. One more time. Crazy all day long. Crazy, it's the same old song. Don't know why it's gotta be this way, but I deal with crazy all day. That's right. Crazy all day. Right there.
I feel like I need a tropical drink now.
That's right. You probably should have a tropical drink. Or an idea with crazy all day bumper sticker.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I want one of the Hank and Jesus ones. Speaking of Jesus, I guess if this is going to be my last song, I'm going to do this one.
has a lot to do with Jesus in Texas. Way back when I was a young boy, I'd sit on my grandma's knee, and she'd tell me all of them stories about that man from Galilee. And now 2,000 years have passed, and we're halfway around the world, but we still hope to see them streets of gold and walk through gates of pearl. But now they sure did things different. It was another place and time. But I couldn't help but ask this question, burning in my mind. If Jesus was a Texan, then what would Jesus do? He'd feed 5,000 hungry folks with beer and barbecue. He'd settle down in Austin, keep it weird down there. He'd spend a little time with Willie and let Willie braid his hair. I even think he'd go up to Oklahoma, friends, you know, just to spread the gospel truth. If they doubted who he was, then he'd provide the proof. He'd lead them down to the Red River to show them who's the boss. He'd set his feet on top of that water and walk straight back across. If Jesus was a Texan, he wouldn't stay gone so long. He'd save us sinners and he'd bring it all back home. And I still read the old Bible, I do. I still can't understand, though, little things like, you know, virgins having babies when they've never known a man. Saving souls and raising folks straight up from the dead. Saviors and sermons and sinners and serpents, Lord, and thorns upon his head. And down here among some scholars, that might raise a lot of questions, but I thought, man, let's just keep it simple, can we? So that would be my suggestion. If Jesus was a Texan, then what would Jesus do? We'd have a kinky governor, 'cause we love that Texas Jew. He'd ride around from town to town in a truck he bought with cash. He'd put a plastic statue of his mama on the dash. I don't think he was too big on beer and whiskey, but Lord, he'd make the finest wine. We could throw a Texas birthday party every year at Christmas time. He'd always be a humble man, 'cause he was never one to boast. There ain't no need for pissing contests when your dad's the Holy Ghost. True story. Maybe more importantly than anything else in this song. He'd give us back Tom Landry. Let Brother Tom lay down the law. And he'd kick that money changer's ass clean back to Arkansas. If Jesus was a Texan, would it change anything he'd do? No, he'd still become one of us and he'd hang out with me and you. That's what he'd do. He'd most likely be sitting right there next to you. Thank you. Some people don't get that, you know. I guess you got to be a Cowboys fan to get all the references, huh?
All right, Justin, wrap it up.
Is this the last one?
Yeah, you're
You're it, brother.
All right.
This is the grand finale, so make it.
All right, we're gonna finale it, and then
You're the curtain dropper, brother.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Good hanging with y'all. Boom, bitches.
Excellent, excellent.
All right, I got one more. This is a newer one. Thanks for hanging out, everybody.
If I was a clown, I could make you laugh. If I was a magic man, I'd cut you right in half. If I was on a mountain, I could touch the sky. But I'm an old land son. If I was a snake, you'd make me hiss and spit. If I was a candy man, I might give you a little bit. If I was your daddy, I'd lay you across my knee. But I'm a lowland son. I'm a lowland son of a gun. Whoa, whoa, If I was a radio, you could tune me in. If I was a TV, I'd sell you medicine. If it wasn't for the static, I might be more democratic. But I'm a lowland son. I'm a lowland son of a gun. If I was an anchor, you could chain your head to mine. You might cut me loose, or you might keep me on the line. If I was a thinker, I'd thank you for your time. But I'm a lowland son. I'm a lowland son of a gun.
Justin Pickard.
All right, thank y'all all so much for being here. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate playing with all you guys
Y'all
up here,
keep
man.
spreading
Great.
the word about the
Great.
Rambler Radio Show and the kind of music you hear when you come out to the Rambler Radio Show. So thank y'all so much.
Tell your friends. Hell, tell your enemies. Tell them to get on out here, your mom and them.